Drawings. In this series of videos, we are going to look at different drawings that you might come across, from construction drawings to mechanical drawings to all sorts of other things. Electrical diagrams, of course, we're electricians. So let's have a look at some of these drawings and diagrams. Drawings, drawings, drawings. I have in front of me a whole bunch of different types of drawings. I have some freehand sketches. I have some quite well drawn drawings. I have some professional drawings. I have a whole bunch. For us as electricians, we rely on drawings to be able to do our job correctly and make sure that all of our equipment is installed or put together in the correct way so that it works. If we don't have these drawings, then things aren't just going to work out the way that we want them to, or maybe the way that the architect planned or the way it was designed. In this video, we're going to look at three types of drawings. These are the drawings that we have for construction. The first one is a site plan. A site plan is basically a drawing that shows you where everything is on a particular site. So it shows you where the buildings are, might show you where the trees are, where garden beds are going to be, and it might have the location of essential services. So maybe where the water mains comes in, or where the main distribution board for electrical work comes in from the street. Those big items that you see when you're out there on the job site. It doesn't give you a huge amount of detail of the construction of the buildings or how things are put together and wired up. This is just to show you where things actually fit. When you're actually out there on the job and you have to work out maybe where your mains cables go and you have to dig a trench and bring the cables to the correct spot, you would use a site plan to work out where the building is going to be and bring your conduits up right where they need to be when they pour the concrete and you've got your conduits in the wall. Once you've got past that, then you will need to use the floor plan. The floor plan shows you where your items need to go. So you'll have a floor plan just for lighting, and it'll show where all the lights fittings are going to be placed. On that floor plan will also show the switching and which switches switch which lights. Say that fast. This is really important that you have the switching and the indicating of which switch does what, because otherwise you could throw your cables in and say, yes, there goes a light, it's going in room number 5, and you might connect it to a switch that's in the hallway next to room number 6, or maybe something other than that, which would be insane, but that could happen. So the drawing, the floor plan drawing, will tell you that yes, light in room number 5 is controlled by the switch on the door of room number 5. Now, there are going to be times when switches will be in other rooms, and there's perfectly good reasons for that, especially if you're dealing with a very small room, for example, which would be designated as a wet area. Under the AS/NZS 3000 rules, you'll find that you cannot have live equipment anywhere within 1 meter of a wet area. So if you have a very small room, maybe it's a small unit or maybe it's a small bathroom, unless it is a weather protected switch, that switch may have to go on the outside of the door, not the inside of the door. So our floor plan will tell us that. So it's really important that we read that floor plan. Now, the floor plan will not tell you how to wire up those devices. It just literally tells you where they've got to go. So you'll measure it out in the correct measurements and then put the light or the switch on the wall where it's supposed to go. The other type of floor plan that you will have is one for power. And it's, as the name says, it is for the power. It's for the GPOs, those power points. It's where you will have the information to connect up your hardwired devices, so ovens, air conditioning units, anything else, hot water systems, anything else that gets hardwired connected up will be on the floor plan for the power. So it'll tell you what GPOs are on what circuit, but just like the lighting plan, it will not tell you how to actually wire it up. You have to make that decision when you're on the job, and that will depend on how you run the cable. Maybe there are pipes in the way. Maybe there's going to be a solid concrete wall, and you have to run cabling through the roof over the wall to get to another point of the room. So you will use this floor plan to work out where all your GPOs and equipment must go. The other set of construction drawings that you will come across are detailed drawings. Now, as electricians, we don't use these that much. Carpenters, builders, they would use this more than us. But essentially, a detailed plan shows you the detail of how a particular part of a building is constructed. So, for example, maybe it's a wall and you've got a cross section that shows you that there's a layer of brick, there may be some timber and some plasterboard, etc. It might show you how the rafters are put together or something else in a building. As I said, as electricians, it's not something that we really read that too often. It's good to know because sometimes maybe we're dealing with a specially built building and there might be special circumstances in how we can and cannot run cable, and we might need to know the construction of that building to do it. Generally, we kind of work that out on the job. It's pretty obvious what kind of wall is going up. But we still need to know how to understand some of those drawings. And that is it for construction drawings. I hope you got something out of this, and I will see you in the next video.